Good morning. How y'all doing out there? Good to see you out there in YouTube land. Good to see all you fellas here. And you too, Reverend Nancy, welcome. And it's so nice to have all of you here with us today. And while you're safe at home, we're safe here in the center. And today we have a special treat because back in the far corner, safely distanced away, not because he's got cooties or anything, but just to protect ourselves, Mr. John Silvers is visiting us today, musician and member of the Agape Spiritual Center over in the Saban Theater area, wherever you guys are holed up now, so you can tell them about that later. So please help me welcome our assistant minister, Reverend Nancy Woods. Yay. And that's it. Give her the big howdy do. And we're going to start by taking a deep, conscious breath as we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. Lighting the Flames of Faith. So, sorry, Facebook folks, I forgot you were on there. All right. So again, let's start by taking a deep, conscious breath and releasing and allowing ourselves to surrender to this eternal now moment as we come together for our call to service, which we call Lighting the Flames of Faith. And we perform this ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples, all faiths, all sentient beings come from the one great universal presence, which we call Spirit. That fundamental to this truth is a unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here this morning. So as Reverend Nancy lights the first candle, it's for the Tao, honoring the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light the second candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light the third candle for Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. The fourth candle we light for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. The fifth candle we light for all forms of Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. The sixth candle we light for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. The seventh candle we light for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of submission to the will of God as the highest calling. We light the eighth candle for the universalistic religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. The ninth candle we light for all forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual principles. And the 10th candle we light for all those who are as yet unaware of the power and presence of Spirit in their lives, and for the space we hold for them here at our center, online, and in our hearts. And as Reverend Nancy lights the healing candle, please put silently into the light the names of anyone you wish to have experience the healing flame of God's eternal love.
Flame that burns in our hearts. There is one light that shines through our love. We light this flame with faith. We light this flame with faith. We find this light within our own soul. There is one flame, one light within.
And it's with joy in my heart, I acknowledge this one presence within. That presence that is in each one of us. That presence that is all-knowing, all-powerful, and brought life forth into expression as it expresses itself in each and every one of us. It is with joy we join together this morning. We appreciate the opportunity to share this awareness and this understanding. And know that each thing that unfolds during this hour that we spend together is that wondrous presence of life gifting us through the songs that are sung, the words that are shared, every aspect of this service is the love of the universe saying yes to life. So as we embrace this understanding, embrace this awareness, embrace the opportunity to touch each other from this place of love, and welcome this moment, this idea, and this understanding as it unfolds with ease and grace. So it's with the joy, with the appreciation, I say yes, and I know that it is already so. And together, we join in understanding and appreciating this as we say, and so it is. Good morning.
Good morning.
You know, each week that this goes on, this experience of solitude or time to be within ourselves, I begin to appreciate some of the things that I've heard about. When the monks go and spend times with themselves, I'm beginning to understand what is the difference. Even though I feel like I am truly connected with a lot of the people around me, either through Zoom or the phone or Facebook, I still find that there is a gift that I'm being given. A gift to take the time to go within and understand this presence. So that is not just a moment in which it comes when I'm doing prayer work or doing meditation. But I can feel and understand and appreciate it with every activity that I participate in. So this week, the thing that has come up for me is that there is a sense of joy and gladness in understanding and appreciating that the gift that we all reach, that which every being is reaching for, is within. And freeing myself from the idea that it's something out there that is going to gift me with the peace, the joy, and the harmony, and the pleasures of being alive and living this life. And also to understand, even though we still think that out there is in some ways gifting us, but in truth, we are moving our minds and our hearts and everything towards embracing the idea that the divine presence that is within us gifts us with that which we need, that which we are seeking, that which we are opening our hearts and minds to experience. So as we spend our time here today, and whether it's through the music or whether it's through the message, whatever aspect of it, it is to tap on that shoulder of each one of you to remind you that it is that power within. Because the more people know this, the wider it will spread, the more peace we will have, the more harmony. And it actually is the avenue to which we are going to solve the problems for all these people we're trying to help right now. We have to do it for ourselves while we are feeding the people and while we are giving them things. But we have to do it for ourselves, because when we embodied it fully, it spreads. So our work is cut out for us, using this time to go within. And I thank you all for allowing me to say that.
So everybody at home, we have a guest today. He's on the other side of this room. Please welcome, at home, give a nice round of applause for Mr. John Silvers. You ready, John?
I'm ready.
Here we go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings have disappeared. Here is that rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Look all around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. Blue skies. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. That's right. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. Hit it. All around, there's nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, there's nothing but blue skies. Blue skies. can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. That's right. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. All right. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day. It's gonna be a bright, 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 sunshiny day.
Nice job, John.
Thank you.
Oh, that's beautiful. See, that's what we're going to have when we open up our mind to the Spirit. Oh, let's see. Every song is going to be about that. So, would you say the Declaration of Principles with me? We believe in one universal spirit, manifesting through all, natural and incarnated in us. We believe the universal spirit is personal too and reveals itself through everyone who recognizes its presence. We believe our faith operates upon the law of mind, which automatically manifests in our experience according to that faith. We believe in the unity of all life, the immortality of the individual soul forever expanding. We believe in the eternal goodness, the eternal loving kindness, and the givingness of life to all.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I am a light in this world.
Together now. I am a light, I am a light, I am a light in this world.
And I shine, and I shine, and I shine so bright.
And I shine,
And I shine, and I shine so bright. You are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world.
you are a light, you are a light, you are a light in this world.
And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. And you shine, and you shine, and you shine so bright. We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world.
We are a light, we are a light, we are a light in this world.
And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright. And we shine, and we shine, and we shine so bright.
All right. Nicely done. Thank you very much. So can you just check that camera and make sure I'm in the frame there, Reverend Nancy? Last week I cut my head off, I heard, which some would say is an improvement, of course. All right. So, welcome to you on YouTube. Welcome to you on Facebook. Welcome to you in the sanctuary. One more time, let's thank John Silvers. Wow, they're going crazy in here. You should be here. All right, and of course, we're staying with, this is actually the last Sunday in April, believe it or not. And we've been working through this theme for the month of Bright Beginnings. This is also the 7th Sunday of the Safe at Home, or the CSL Pajama Party. I know I've been wearing my pajamas all week. How about you? So, yeah. All right, so the theme for today is fire in the belly, and this is a time of reflection, revelation, revolution, and restoration. A rededication of one's life to spirit and a recommitment to spiritual practice. Imagine that. Now, did you use the Cliff Notes this week? No, so you just pulled that right out of the consciousness. How do you like that? And the interesting thing about that is that these talk notes were composed a year ago. A year ago. Wow. Yeah. So a year ago, do you know what was in the news today on this day? Joe Biden announced his presidency, that he was running for the president. Now, I don't know about you, but it seems like he's been running for like 5 years. But the actual day was 1 year ago today. And we were talking about all kinds of things, all that political stuff that was swirling around at the time. And I hesitate to call the pandemic a leveler, because so many social justice issues were rightly being brought to light in the news a year ago. But this stay-at-home practice is certainly bringing on a different perspective to things. So I'm waiting for matching masks with new outfits for the new fashion springtime thing coming out of Paris. So you heard it first in Granada Hills. Don't forget that when you see it. And even mature men are getting into the act as well, because it's been 11 weeks since I had a haircut, and so we're all going to be going for that Van Buren look, or what we call the Marty. So for those of you who don't know, Van Buren was the 8th president of the United States and called the little magician. I don't know if that was derogatory or not, but I'm almost there. So let's look at O'Melveny instead. So, I don't know about you, but I'm kind of over this whole COVID thing, stay at home. It's kind of starting to get to me a bit. And, in California, we can actually go out because it's not New York. And still, at the same time, it's getting to me. And in fact, maybe like me, you found yourself getting a bit testy this week. I know I was crabby all week long, and I'm afraid it finally boiled over. And I'd love to blame the outward condition, but I know it's a reflection of the tempest going on in my own mind, because it can't happen out there unless it's first happening in here. And it always demonstrates outside, from the mind, outside the body. So sometimes the contractor shows up instead of the practitioner, and this is not a good thing. So, what do I contract with today? Right? Or more importantly, what do I not contract with today? Old ways of being or doing that no longer serve me would be a great place to start. So for me, it's been my crabby attitude, my temper, and your struggle, should you have any. So I'm sure that you are all very harmoniously at home, living in the flow of life, just resting on that wave of bliss. So it may look a lot different for you. But for others who are struggling in some way, this may look a lot different. So one household of people getting on each other's nerves, in another one, loneliness and isolation because there's no one to get on their nerves with. one house living with plenty, another hanging on by a thread. Some folks are even trying to get sober right now with only online meetings to go to. But hopefully you are safe at home, and your safe at home experience for the majority of the time has been like ours at home, which has been harmonious, safe, and serene, and knowing that despite the outward condition and the tragic stuff that's going on out there, because let's not pretend like it's not happening. Right? There's been 53,000 people in the United States now who have died from this thing. And we're heading into 1 million infected. So there's real things going on. So we do not deny the condition. We deny the power the condition has over us. Okay, we got that? So we're not playing let's pretend. We do not deny the condition. We deny the power the condition has over us. So in this way, in spite of what's going on, whether it's a pandemic or just a heartbreak of some kind, not just a heartbreak, but a heartbreak of some kind, we can know still that all is well. So from this perspective then, recognizing the struggle that may be out there, maybe this theme means something a little different. It's a time for reflection, revelation, revolution, and restoration. A rededication of one's life to spirit and a recommitment to what? Spiritual practice. Which means this is a good time to nudge ourselves off our comfort zone. Or sometimes we may step over the line and get the cosmic kick up the backside out of our comfort zone. However we get there. But to voluntarily push ourselves into making a commitment that maybe pushes us to show up in a greater way. So maybe you're making masks. Seemed like a great idea at the beginning, but now you find yourself having to push through and continue the commitment. For many of us at this Center for Spiritual Living here in Granada Hills, maybe that stepping up means that we're going to commit to taking an online class now, which means we have to learn a technology. And we have to learn to engage with the technology so that we can feel a sense of community and to learn how to communicate through this new medium, which I don't know about you, I'm kind of tired of having to learn more technology. All right? I am not an early adapter. So, or you can join the Sangha or Wednesday night meditation. Or maybe you decided after 8 weeks of the Power of 8 prayer experiment, maybe you've decided to re-enlist in the Power of 8 prayer group for another 8 weeks. Now, one of the things we found in this commitment, the group found, is that it's weird to pray for people who don't acknowledge that you are praying for them on their behalf. Many people struggled with this. Is anyone paying attention to me? Is anyone hearing my prayer? Right? I mean, I thought this is a wonderful expression in the microcosm of what can happen within our own prayer life with the divine. Is anyone out there listening to me? Nothing's happening. When's something going to change? I need a sign, right? So it's a wonderful sign in this way. But it is kind of a weird thing to pray for people when you know you're online and they're not acknowledging you. And this has been a challenge for many, and still most, even knowing that, most have re-enlisted. Now, I got to tell you, to me, this is a true gift, right? To be disappointed in the experience, but to step into it and stay committed with it anyway. I mean, that is spiritual practice. That's spiritual practice. I don't want to sit on the cushion today. We do it anyway. I don't want to read any spiritual material today. We do it anyway. I don't want to call so-and-so. We do it anyway. You know what you call that? My Power of 8 friends and friends in our spiritual community, we call that practitioner consciousness. Practitioner consciousness. I think people sometimes think you're supposed to be on this pink cloud all the time. And certainly that's part of the promise. Right? There's definitely, that is the promise of spiritual practice. But it is practice. And it is practicing on the days when you don't feel like it. So if you have studied this faith system that we call the science of mind and are consciously using it, you are a practitioner of the teaching. You are a practitioner. You may not have a license. You may not be a licensed practitioner, which means you are trained in a specific method and that you are a mandated reporter so that people can come to you in confidence. I mean, there's a real reason to be a licensed practitioner in a practical way. But unless you're called to do it, it will often be more sacrifice than service. And this can be a struggle. But again, if we can stay with that and work through that, we come out on the other side changed, and changed for good. So you may not have a license, but you are a practitioner just the same. Because human beings can and do practice all kinds of belief systems and practice all kinds of habits, whatever practice they're doing. And whatever we are practicing at, we are a practitioner. So we can be a practitioner of music, a practitioner of medicine, of politics, of ministry, of cooking. Right? So you get where I'm coming at. So as a person of faith then, bringing the power of focused thought combined with an awareness of the divine, you are practicing using a power greater than you are, a higher power if you like, to affect change in your life for good, for yourself, and for the life of others as well. And when we do these things voluntarily and consciously, we are creating some fire in the belly to affect change in some way. So I remember hearing a podcast of Alan Watts, and he spoke to in the monastery in Zen Buddhism in Japan. Many children, I think mostly males, were brought to the monastery as young children because I presume they couldn't afford to raise them. And so they didn't grow up with any kind of deep connection to anything. They're just there because they're there. They're monks, but they're there. And so the task then is to create what they called a great doubt. And the great doubt is at finding that one kernel within you that calls to you to go deeper within yourself for a deeper or a more meaningful, transcendent meaning to life. This is what fire in the belly is to me when I think about it. What is it? What is it that can get me fired up and ready to re-engage in life, right? And so this is an interesting thing because we have these kind of constraints going on right now. So we may have a fire in our belly to go back into the gym. But hey, guess what? The gyms are closed. Well, we can do a few push-ups, right? There are things we can do. I mean, it's not as sexy. And maybe that carpet could smell better, but you know what I'm saying, right? But to create some fire in the belly and know that we are not constrained and to find ways to engage the creative intelligence of the universe, to find ways to explore that fire in the belly within the confines of where we are right now. So this is a time for reflection, revelation, revolution, and restoration, a rededication of one's life to spirit and a recommitment to spiritual practice. So these are some of the ways that we can boost our own practice as practitioners of religious science or the science of mind philosophy. And in the Islamic tradition, they are stepping things up big time starting this week in the most basic of ways. So I wanted to share with you the 5 pillars and core beliefs of Islam, since most of us are not very familiar with this, that there's this deep profession of faith, that the belief that there is no God but Allah and Muhammad is his prophet, that they have a deep prayer practice, which most of it 5 times a day, and oftentimes a cleansing ritual with that to give alms and to give generously. Fasting, this is the only word I know how to pronounce because I saw it online. It's pronounced as psalm. And then a pilgrimage or the Hajj, this is when they go to Arabia for the Hajj. I can't remember if it's Medina or Mecca. Anybody know? It's one of the 2 big cities. Okay. So they are stepping this up starting Friday. They've started with the Ramadan fast. So Ramadan in Arabic means scorching heat. Did you know this, Rev? I didn't either till I found it. So apparently they believe it's because it's in the 9th month in the Muslim calendar, which happens to be one of the hottest months of the year also, which is also the time when Muhammad received the first revelation of the Quran. So Muslims, adherents are not supposed to eat or drink anything from sunrise to sunset, not even water. Not even water, man. And they can and do eat before sunrise, and they break their fast after sundown. And this is something that they keep close tabs on. But it's not just about food. They're also instructed to avoid evil thoughts and sinful behavior such as lying, cursing, and fighting, except in self-defense. So in this way, Ramadan then purifies one from impure thoughts, deeds, and material desires. And this allows the practitioner to fully concentrate on their faith through prayer, through seeking forgiveness, and being there for the needy. So I thought I would also share this. So Rabban Mubarak or Rabban Kareem, these translate to have a blessed or generous Ramadan. So if you have a friend who's of the Islamic faith, there you go. Maybe you already knew that. This is stuff I don't know. So Ramadan is a time of fasting, not only from food, water, and sex, but I think it's just from sun up to sundown. I don't know, I'll have to ask Salam about that. But also from gossiping, lying, etc. So it's time to increase spiritual practice and awareness of the divine in daily life. It is a time for reflection, revelation, revolution, and restoration, a rededication of one's life to spirit and recommitment to spiritual practice. So is there something that we feel we can do to create a sense of purification during this next month? Because it looks like we're going to be at this for at least another month. Can we profess the name of our higher power as we know it to be and do it confidently and courageously, and you know what, even appropriately, right? Because we don't need to sell anything. We are professing, we're not selling. Can we daily pray? Can we fast from thoughts that no longer serve us? Can we turn away from the grouch and the brainstorm and recognize anger as a dubious luxury to be avoided? Maybe abstain for several hours and use that practice to bring us back to center. Oh, I'm hungry. Oh, chant the name of God. I'm thirsty. Chant the name of God. Now, I tried to do this in a half-ass way. I could only get for about 5 hours because I'm a pig. All right. So maybe just to cancel that. I am not a pig. I am a living expression of divine consciousness that likes to eat. Okay, so, but I'm going to play with this thing going further this week, and to do it without being a crabby Applegate while I'm at it. So maybe just to know that whatever challenges of the conditions of our life, that whatever is presenting to you and to me right now, it's important that we remember that we're not that, right? I'm not a pig, okay? I just eat like one, but I'm not a pig, right? So we must learn to define ourselves by our experiences or conditions. So this is just some Islamic art that I found that I wanted to share and forgot to advance the slide for. And in 14th century Islam, they were big into sacred geometry. They still are. You can find this on the website, metmuseum.org, and they even have some things for kids to do and stuff also. All right, so we must not define ourselves by experiences or conditions, for while these are tools we can use, they are not who we are. Who we are is spirit, a fiery, heavenly intelligence created by the divine and unlimited in nature. So that really, when we think about it, the only thing that's keeping us held bound is not a pandemic, is not hospital beds or respirators. For those unfortunates who've been affected in this way, that may be their truth, but it is not our truth. Okay, we can know for our community that we live in an abundant universe, even for these things such as personal protection equipment and ventilators and all the things that the news say that we're failing at, that we can, in consciousness now, call all of these things to us, knowing that no one has to go without, that all are sustained and satisfied, that we can know for those who are infected with the virus that their recovery is swift and to be fully restored. That we know that there is that within the divine intelligence, the creative intelligence right now, that there is being called forth within the race consciousness, the human race consciousness of man, to find these cures, whether they be vaccines or medicines or even a shifting consciousness about how we go about doing our business going forward. That we know that this great time of life, this tempest, this crucible of consciousness that we find ourselves in, that we can call forth now the divine intelligence that is impressed within it, and call it forth and allow it and sustain it and to bring the human material to it, to bring it forth, to raise all people so that these sacrifices made by so many are not made in vain. So each of us has a divine purpose, and this can stay constant in our lives over many years even, as a dedication to a cause. Or we may feel pulled to make a difference in a community, maybe like this one. We may feel pulled to make a difference in community and to go on to do even greater good. We may take part in several short-term initiatives over our lifetime. There is no wrong path to divine purpose. However, when we feel that fire in the belly stir, there is a quickening. When we feel the need to be part of something that's calling us in, we truly know that we have connected to something divine and something purposeful in our lives. So my brothers and sisters, what stirs in your belly? Take this time to explore this today and consider these things that I have presented to you, and check in with me and us next week. And until then, stay safe, stay strong, know that you are loved. God bless you. See you next week.
This original song called Falling Upward. I'm falling upward. I know it sounds a bit absurd, but I'm falling upward. Oh yeah. I'm falling upward. know it sounds a bit absurd, but I'm falling upward. Oh yeah, I'm being lifted, I'm being gifted by the light. Something shifted, and now everything's all right. I'm no longer at the effect of circumstance. My faith is stronger, and my life is one big dance. Come on, dance. Ha. I'm falling upward. I know it sounds a bit absurd, but I'm falling upward. Oh yeah, I'm falling upward. I know it sounds a bit absurd, but I'm falling upward. Oh yeah, I'm celebrating. The anticipating's through. No more waiting. I give my life to you. Love's the only thing that we can bring that heals everything. So I'm opening my heart and letting Spirit do its thing. Yeah. I'm falling up. I know the law of gravity, but it does not apply to me. Within the Spirit I am free, fly as high as I can see. There's another law I know that keeps me in the overflow, takes me where I wanna go. It's always yes and never no. No, never no. Ha! It's never no. No, it's never no. I'm falling upward. I know it sounds a bit absurd, but I'm falling upward. Oh yeah, I'm falling upward. I know it sounds a bit absurd, but I'm falling upward. Oh yeah, it's so dramatic, the way that I have been set free from all the static that used to whirl inside of me. I am love, revealing universal positivity and expanding to the glory of my greatest yet to be. Falling upward, saying falling upward, yeah. So cast away all doubt and fear. There's no direction left for you to steer. Your destination is very clear. Heaven is right now. Heaven is right here. Ah. I'm falling upward. Said I'm falling upward, yeah. I'm falling upward. Bring it down now. Falling upward. Said I'm falling upward. I'm falling upward. Said I'm falling upward. Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
That's Mr. John Silvers, everybody. I know you want to clap some more at home. Go for it. Yay. So, Falling Upward is also the title of one of my favorite Richard Rohr books. Do you know this book? Well, you need to send him this song because that's the name of it. It's he speaks to the spirituality of the 12 steps from a mystic Christian perspective, and it's a great book. So I think you'd really like it. It's kind of like right up your alley. All right, so where are we? Oh, you have to do an offering. So this is my opportunity to instruct you on how to give through online giving. And so as we... So there has been some confusion as to what's going on here. So I just want to let you know that this donate button is right here. And if you could advance this, I can advance the slide. All right, so you're going to come to this slide. Now, it says donate with a debit or credit card. Unfortunately, PayPal, or fortunately, PayPal is the plug-in to our website. Some folks are resistant to using PayPal, but the only time you have to give them your number is when you want to do a recurring thing. So if you're not comfortable doing that, you can just do it for one time only by pressing this button below that says donate with a debit or credit card, and then you're off. The easiest way, the absolute easiest way is to do it through bill pay with your online banking. With the other bills that you've probably, everybody resists this technology. I know I do. But so it's just one more way, one more thing. Your tithe check, just make it out to CSLGH for the payee, and then you're set. And you do like the chicken cooker thing. Set it and forget it. All right. So then here's what it looks like on the phone. Same idea. Just press you scroll down 3 or 4 swipes, like John's doing right now. I see him right now. So, and then of course our mailing. And I have to say, so many of you have been faithful just using snail mail, and so however you are giving, just know that it's deeply appreciated. That it appears that we are maintaining our giving, at least at levels when you are in the sanctuary. So I deeply appreciate that. So keep up the good work. And while you're doing that, we're going to go into our offering song.
3, 4. Spirit gives through me, Spirit receives through me, Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit lives and breathes through me. Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit gives through us, Spirit receives through us, Spirit lives and breathes through us. Spirit lives and breathes through us.
And so using this basket to represent our gifts that have been presented here through the week, either through online giving, through snail mail, all the various avenues of prosperity from which the Spirit shows. Maybe even got our check from the Gov this week. Who knows? That we accept our good from all unexpected sources. All right, so in this way, then, let's just know together that these gifts go forth to heal, to prosper, and to bless not only the vision and mission of this spiritual center, but anyone who's connected to it in any way, that we extend this blessing and glad tidings to our community of Granada Hills, our city of Los Angeles, our state of California, our United States of America, all of its churches, temples, mosques, schools, universities, the people who attend them, the people who support them, that we know in, through, and as all of it is a divine intelligence that is somehow calling it all to itself. And to the extent that we know this to be so, we see it demonstrating in all ways, great and small. This allows us to feel a sense of grace and power that propels us into ways of spiritual living that raise ourselves and others, and that's a good thing. So together we acknowledge this by saying, and so it is. Amen. So thank you again, John Silvers. Let's give him some more love at home. Can you feel it, John? Yeah. Another great job by you. It's always great to have you here. And so let's just take a moment to thank our music director, Ken Francis, and Jason Goldstein. Thank you both for being so faithful and just doing things so well. And then we have Mike Carlin and Evan in the back, and this could not happen without them, believe me. So, and the always delightful Reverend Nancy Woods will now pray us out. Y'all be safe out there, and we'll see you Wednesday night if you want to do some meditation or for fellowship on Zoom at 11:45.
So it's with the consciousness of gratitude. We thank the spiritual presence of life for allowing this divine flow, for each aspect of the service to be so beautifully blended into the idea that we are open and receptive to allow that spiritual presence to bless us with an expanded consciousness of awareness of its presence in our life, through our life, and for our life. And in this awareness, we step up to the plate while we are dealing with this experience of being homebound. We are stepping up to the plate of knowing that our spiritual practice is going deeper. And it is expanding in awareness that the infinite intelligence that we are utilizing is able to not only do things in us, through us, and as us in within our home, but it can reach out to all those that we bring into our consciousness, as we know that the world is a divine presence of life itself. And that as we consciously recognize it and embrace this idea and begin to see things the way we want them to be, there is that presence in us that helps, that brings it forth and lets it unfold, the greater aspect of ourselves. And it's through this and with this that we embrace these truths and we step into it in a greater way, starting this moment forward, because we have been blessed with an expanded experience of the light that is within each and every one of us. So it's with acceptance that the Lord said yes, and that we are able to command ourselves to experience and accept these truths that have been given us. And know it together as we say, and so it is.
Please join us at home for the peace song. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, a peace that was meant to be, with God as the power, united all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow, to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternal.